From a historical perspective, this is quite unpopular.
Hear it.
What did he say? Quite unpopular?
This is quite unpopular.
Hear it.
It sounds like he's saying quite unpopular. So the important thing right now is that while MAGA may be behind Donald Trump largely, you can also see the initial poll here, net approval of U.S. airstrikes on ISIS plus 58, on Iran minus 11.
In this video, we join Tim Pool and the gang over at Timcast IRL. Tim Pool plays a clip of a CNN host losing their mind over Tucker Carlson and MAGA. I mean, I don't know what he expected. With that, let's watch Tim Pool roast CNN for their delusion and derangement.
CNN's living meme, Harry Enton, dunks on Tucker Carlson after revealing MAGA loves Trump's Iran strike. He doesn't speak for the majority. All right, well, and I say that he's a living meme with all due respect. It's because Harry Enton is always shocked when it turns out the American people love what Trump is doing. We got this video. Let's roll tape.
Republican opinion on this.
Yeah, I think there's this idea, okay, maybe the MAGA base wouldn't necessarily like this. Look, this is Donald Trump's Republican Party. That's what I think is so important to note. GOP on the U.S. airstrikes in Iran, 76% in the average of the two polls approve, compared to just 18% who disapprove. Now, I will note that is a bit higher than Donald Trump's disapproval rating within the Republican Party. But overall, Republicans are with Donald Trump on this. Tucker Carlson be darned. The bottom line is he does not speak for the majority of the Republican base. The majority of the Republican base is with Donald Trump.
Needless to say, all this could change depending on whether the ceasefire holds or not. It could become more popular if the ceasefire holds, less popular if it doesn't. But that's where we are right now.
That's where we are. Initial readings are from a historical perspective. This is quite unpopular.
Hear it.
What did he say? Quite unpopular?
This is quite unpopular.
Hear it. Republican
It sounds like
opinion
he's saying quite unpopular. So the important thing right now is that while MAGA may be behind Donald Trump largely, you can also see the initial poll here, net approval of U.S. airstrikes on ISIS plus 58, on Iran minus 11. So the funny thing is, MAGA loves Trump's strike, dunking on Tucker Carlson, while the majority of the people in this country oppose the strikes on Iran. Now, what I will say is, I don't play these stupid games that everybody wants everyone else to play. These liberals are like, Tim, is this what you voted for? And I'm like, no. And they're like, ha-ha. And I'm like, and? Bro, I don't vote for anybody, be it Donald Trump or, I ain't voting for the Democrats, but like Tulsi Gabbard, for instance. I was a big supporter. I don't vote for them thinking I'm going to get 100% of what I want all the time. And some things I think are obviously worse than others. Do I regret my vote for Trump? No, because that's got to be the stupidest question one can ask. You could tell me let's say it's Kamala Harris and Donald Trump running for office, and you come to me and you say, here's a crystal ball of the future. Trump's going to bomb Iran. Would you vote for him? I'd be like, yep. Thank you. Have a nice day. You think I want Kamala Harris to win? Like, Trump would have to, you know what? I'm going to avoid saying what I was going to say. I'm stopping myself here before I get in trouble. Trump would have to do something very bad, very, very bad for Kamala Harris to look good by comparison. The truth is, I fully expect that if Kamala Harris was president, we would get a much, much worse outcome.
It gives you chills just thinking about it, doesn't it? Kamala Harris being president right now. I really like what Tim's saying here, and it's the exact conclusion I've come to amid the original kind of party split about what we should do with Iran and Israel. Many of us voted for America First, which means not intervening, keeping the U.S. military safe, keeping our dollars at home. But Trump's done strikes in the past. That's not the same as starting a new war. He did strikes in his first term, too. And we all acknowledge Donald Trump didn't get us into new wars. I think there's just a huge difference between a precision strike that Donald Trump genuinely believes are in the interest of the safety of the American people and declaring war and spending 10 years and hundreds of billions or $1 trillion on something that nets us nothing. And we're going to continue to see shifting opinions in the Republican Party with every single move that Donald Trump makes with regard to Israel, Iran. But Tim's right. You vote for someone because you think they are the best option to run the country. So everyone that's bitching and whining, who, by the way, doesn't have all the information and they never will, what would you prefer? Would you prefer Kamala Harris being there? I honestly can't even describe what I think this situation would be like if Kamala Harris was in office. Can you imagine the Democrats quarterbacking this thing? Oh my God. Anyway, let's get back to the video.
Gotten involved, and she would have done, I'm willing to bet that Kamala Harris would have been like, Israel, what should we do? And Netanyahu's going to be like, we're going to go in there, we're going to bomb, and we're going to take out all the facilities, and then after we do that, we're going to bomb again, then we're going to send troops. And she'd be like, okay, whatever you say. Trump was like, we don't want the war. He does the bombing, bad in my opinion, but I will concede. If Trump pulls off this ceasefire, which is feeling shaky, but if Trump can pull it off and they really do stop bombing each other, it will have been an historic success for the United States and for Donald Trump. Already people are pointing out that all these presidents have said, we are going to stop Iran from getting a nuke, and none of them actually did anything until Donald Trump. The fear, of course, is that these strikes will lead to a dramatic escalation and instability in the region. If Trump is successful in having taken out Iran's nuclear capabilities and it does not escalate, wow. I guess he's got a win-win. Do I like the idea of bombing Iran? No. Even if they're working on a nuclear program, while recognizing there's a real threat to the enrichment of uranium, I recognize that they've got intel I don't. The bigger problem is if the U.S. gets involved in an ongoing quagmire. That's what we call Afghanistan and Iraq, quagmires. Nobody knows what to do. Nobody knows how to get out, and they lie. With Afghanistan, they were like, well, we shouldn't be there, but we really have no exit strategy. Same thing with Iraq. Like, we can't just leave. The whole place will be overrun. Trump was like, I don't care. We're leaving. And then Joe Biden burned it all to the ground. So let me just say, as MAGA supports the strikes, Tucker is with the majority of this country. And there is a real risk that Donald Trump faces in regard to these strikes. That minus 11 is bad news. Bad news for the midterms. There are many people, many Trump supporters who have already said the base is fractured. I'm out. Trump's going to lose.
If you like watching videos like this one, like and subscribe. We'd really appreciate it. Let's get back to the video.
Now, prominent pro-Trump people might be saying, you know what? We won. Get in line. Fall in line. You were wrong. And they're posting things like Candace was wrong and Dave Smith was wrong and Tucker was wrong. And I'm like, well, we don't know that for sure just yet. They're saying, Tim, you were wrong. Okay. I hope I'm wrong. I don't want war with Iran. You think I would rather be like, no, I have to be right. Iran, go to war. No, screw that. I will proudly clap and say, thank God I was wrong. Because these things I fear. We're not out of the woods yet. There's already shenanigans going on with Israel defying Trump. We'll see where this goes. But I'm saying right now the risk is Trump can't lose even a few points on this, even a few points. And the majority don't like the strikes in Iran.
A lot of these, like Tim mentioned, some prominent talking heads are arguing about Trump's moves and getting angry about them. And obviously that's their right. And I respect their right to express their opinion. And that kind of makes me think about the perception of the Republican Party. But I guess it definitely goes deeper, like Tim's talking about. This rift in the party, no matter how big or how small, real or perceived, will turn off some supporters, which will in turn turn the enthusiasm dialed down for Trump and Republicans. I've had the midterms on my calendar for a while now because I think they're going to be crucial for Trump to be able to finish the job he's set out to do and continue to fulfill his campaign promises. So I really hope the conservatives can unite and understand what's at stake here. Anyway, let's wrap it up.
Media reports, CNN News Central Tuesday, Enton showed the overall Trump strikes over the weekend are historically unpopular. But the actions have been embraced by most Republican voters despite talk of a civil war brewing among Trump's most vocal supporters. What benefit did Trump get from doing this? I can say Trump pulled it off, but I'll tell you right now, Pyrrhic victory. Trump says, okay, fine, we're going to bomb Iran. Everybody's pissed. The libertarian wing that voted for Trump are completely out. Trump's not running for re-election, mind you, But do you actually think you're going to get that 3% you need to put you over the edge in 2028? And there's the big risk. The annoying thing is that Trump may have sacrificed everything over this one bombing campaign. Now, again, I'm going to stress, I trust the president. I'd still vote for him.
We want to hear from you. What do you guys think about Donald Trump's strike on Iran? And how big is the rift in the Republican Party? And can it be mended? And can the party unify prior to midterms? Let us know in the comments. Anyway, as always, really appreciate you watching, and we will see you in the next one.